So the person that I decided to interview was a family friend of mine. Her name is Caitlin Voss. I was not able to do a face-to-face interview or like a video chat interview or even on the phone because she's been really busy. So I was only able to get her to email me the answers back for the questions that I sent her. So Caitlin, she has her own business. It's certified vegan and organic beauty and skincare line, and she sells it in like Ipsy bags and Petite Four and Blessed boxes. So I went ahead and I sent her a few questions that I had for her that I thought would be interesting to ask. So to start off with, I asked her if she interned anywhere in the past, and if so, where. And she actually did not intern anywhere, which I thought was pretty interesting, since usually nowadays a lot of people intern, and I realized that it kind of made it a little bit more interesting that since she didn't intern, she kind of found her own way through the business, I guess, of a sense, instead of having to like network so much. So I also asked her, what's a typical work day like for you? And she said, there's nothing typical. Every day is different. Some days I'm mixing products, some days I'm in negotiations. Some days I'm working on website updates, some days I'm developing new products. Some days I'm planning social media and working on campaigns. And some days all of the above. From the minute I wake up to when I go to bed, I am working on something for the business. And after she said that, that was very boss of her to say. She's a very inspiring person to me from what I've seen in her work and all of her products. She's very on board with everything. And just from that response, it shows that she really cares about what she's doing and her career. So I thought that was pretty nice. She's originally from Chicago. That's another question I asked her. And she went to the University of Maryland. She was also an art/graphic designer in college. That was her major. And graphic design, that would tie into, what she's doing now with her skincare line. Because there's also like promotion and all that stuff. So that kind of helped her go into the career that she has now. The next question I asked was, did you stick to your major or did your career path take you in a different direction? And she said, I worked for multiple advertising agencies and bartended at night to make ends meet. While I obtained a level of success in the corporate world, I knew that I wasn't finding satisfaction in my need to express myself with a meaningful purpose. My 20s were spent struggling to survive, rather than furthering my dreams. It was hard during this period that I understood that my path had to be one where I was in charge of my own life. When you finally understand that your time is limited, your choices become more important. I started to realize and really care what I said, and yes, and what I said no to. I needed to work for myself, or at least not be punching a time clock, helping someone else build their dream when I had dreams of my own. The next question I asked her was, when did you start getting interested with skincare? And she said, while contemplating my next venture, I scheduled a routine dermatology screening. My mother had successfully conquered skin cancer when I was younger, so I was always hyper aware of skincare and healthy skin choices. My dermatologist advised that I have a couple things removed and the C word was mentioned. Thankfully, I did not have cancer. Jolted, I went straight home and looked at every single skin product I owned. I read the labels and ingredient lists for each. I was shocked. Upon research, I couldn't believe all the toxic chemicals I was unknowingly putting onto my skin. Even with my family history of skincare and my diligence in my skincare, I had been obvious to how dangerous the products I was using were. I felt a mix of emotions that ranged from fear to betrayal to anger. I needed to learn everything about what I was putting on my skin. I also knew that I couldn't be the only one who was unknowingly harming their health. The more I learned, the more determined I became. Knowing now what I didn't know then, the following seems so simple because it is. Our skin acts more as a sponge than a barrier. Whatever you put on your skin actually goes into your bloodstream faster than if you ate it. That's crazy. With so many skincare products available, hyped, overwhelming marketing, and exaggerated ingredients, I was left wondering if any of them actually helped one feel cared for or really worked. It seemed to me a return to basics was in order. I spent most of my time learning some more about the science behind healthy skincare. I ordered some organic ingredients and mixed different lotions in my small NYC kitchen. After countless hours of trial and error, I perfected a sampling of different lotions. The results were amazing. They were the most nourishing and hydrating lotions I had ever used, and my skin was glowing. More importantly, my creations were safe. I shared my knowledge in homemade products with friends, and immediately I knew that this was what I wanted to do in my life. In 2012, K-Voss was formed. So, after that was, to me, the most inspiring answer that she gave me with all the questions that I did ask her about, because it really showed how she all got started. And instead of just talking about, the marketing of her company and all of the basics and stuff like that, the way that she started up and her reason for doing everything that she does was very inspiring. The next question I asked her was, when did you start your business? And that was 5 years ago. I asked her, what's your motto in life? And she said, same as my business, love yourself, love the world around you, and find beauty in what is natural and real. I asked her, is managing your own business difficult? And she said yes. I asked, where do you think you and your company will be in the next few years? And she said, I've been in Ipsy, Petite Four, TheraBox, BlessBox, BabeBox. I'm hoping to grow it enough to have a product placement in retail. And then lastly, I asked her, what do you love best about your job? And she said, that I get to get up every day and do what I love. And so those are all the questions that I asked her. I hoped I could do a Zoom and video chat her, but she was busy 24/7. So I just got it through email. So yeah, that was the interview that I had with Caitlin Voss.